What's up guys, Robert Optal Carnivore. Now, why are carbohydrates so addictive? And I think it's because that is what nature intended. Stick with me. Be honest, how many times have you tried to moderate carbohydrate, sugar intake, and how many times have people fallen off the wagon and it's always involved some sort of a carbohydrate food that they can binge on? Can you say the same about like steak and eggs and fish? You don't go on a mad binging spree. You don't get that guilt afterwards. You don't get that carb coma. All these negative effects with carbs always been demonized and pigeonholed and put in under this negative light, which I think is actually the truth, unfortunately. And as always, let's take a step back through time. Evolutionarily, what are carbohydrates there for, and like when would they be around? It's looking like they'd only be around for a couple of weeks of the year. At the end of like an autumn harvest, we gather the fruits, the nuts, the tubers, any grains, anything we could get our hands on in that short space of time. Because we evolved over hundreds and thousands, if not millions of years through the ice ages, when there's no carbohydrate plant matter around whatsoever. So at best, we may have got them a couple of weeks of the year. So what do you think is going on hormonally, signally in the body when that occurs? It is literally to prepare us for winter coming, to gain some body fat for a time where food is going to be scarce for us and the animals. Think logically and common sense. What would the best way of being able to gain body fat? So if year round we're eating a lot of animal products and eggs, and that is keeping our body weight like nice and stable, our body fat set point, we're nice and healthy, we're not getting insulin resistant. We want the opposite of that, because if you try, it's it's hard to overeat true satiating animal proteins and fats. So let's do the opposite. Like we gorge on fruit and it bypasses all these natural satiety signals in the body. Blood sugar roller coaster all the time, and that is not by accident. So it goes up, tiny bit of satiation, but it drops back down, we need to eat again. Goes up, tiny bit of satiation, drops back down, need to eat again. Does that not seem to mimic what everyone does in everyday life? In needing to eat every 2-3 hours because they've got low blood sugar and they're drawn to food again. That is what carbohydrates are doing in this modern time. So fructose, that's like in fruit, and it's a part of sugar. Sugar is sucrose, which is half fructose, half glucose. You've got the fructose element, which blocks our main satiety hormone, leptin. You get an insulin rise from anything carbohydrate based. Anytime you eat, you get insulin rise, but carbohydrates is like the number one offender, keeping it high. That blocks your satiety hormone, leptin, as well. So that is why I've got up and I haven't eaten yet. I'm not hungry at all. But if I started eating like a banana, sounds quite healthy, but I'd actually be hungrier. That would set me off and I'd need to eat again downstream. Foods that may have only occurred a couple of weeks of the year, they light up your brain. You get this dopamine effect, light up your brain like a Christmas tree that makes you want more, more, more. And that is what nature intended. It's like, right, okay, this tree outside it's now got this ripe fruit hanging down from it. Do you know these tubers are growing from the ground, these ground vegetables, whatever it may be, these nuts and seeds are about. More, because they're not going to be about for very often. So let's gorge on them. Let's not because if they made you full very quickly, it wouldn't be a very efficient system at getting you fat for the winter. So it is literally evolutionarily there to gain fat for the winter. But look at modern day. We've got carbs every couple of hours, 2-3 hours, but we've got them year round. So that is the problem. So the best way of losing weight rapidly, getting proper satiety, is to drop the carbs. I know you don't want to hear it, but everyone is addicted to carbohydrates because they're supposed to be addictive. It's not a you problem, okay? It's evolution, but it shouldn't be year round. It's a modern day problem. Why the whole world on average is struggling. We're on like a 70% plant-based diet. So everyone's trying to get this plant-based going. We're actually already on a plant-based diet. It's all sugar, wheat, flour, fruits and vegetables, grains, like whole wheat bread, whatever it may be. We're already doing that, and that is why we're having to snack every sort of 2-3 hours. We're eating maybe we're eating 3-4 meals a day with snacks in between. That is not normal human physiology, because as soon as you start a low carb, keto, carnivore type approach, you can fast effortlessly for hours with zero hunger. It's just absolute night and day. It's black and white. So a good test is if you can't get up in the morning and just get on with your day, if you need some carbohydrates, that's because you've had a blood sugar crash and you're addicted to them from the previous meal the night before, and then that is happening every few hours in the day, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, decade after decade, when it's supposed to only be in your system maybe 2 weeks of the whole year. You've literally put your body in a fat storage mode year round rather than just a couple of weeks a year. So if you're really struggling and you've still got carbohydrates in your diet and you still feel like shackled and not liberated and free and don't have the ability to fast, you're locking away your fat stores. Insulin is a fat storage hormone that's constantly high. If you're gaining weight slowly, a pound or two, year after year, it all adds up. Then try cutting the carbohydrates down, going on a low carb, keto, carnivore type approach, and you'll never look back. So if you want to drop the body fat with ease, have long-term satiety, not be tied to blood sugar crashes and have to eat multiple times a day, drop the carbs and sugar, replace them with good, healthy animal fat. Massive caveat, if you're low carb on energy, we need to get our energy from somewhere. We need the fat. Fat is fuel, fat is flavour, and fat is our friend. Hope this helps, guys. Thank you.